Michael, you've done hundreds of shows. How do you think the Derek Chisora and Carlos Takam fight is going to go?
That's an interesting fight, and I like the fact that two guys kind of like at a crossroads point in their career are fighting each other. It just adds a lot to this card, and it's a good matchup. You know, a lot of people might say like, well, you know, they're not in the top 10, but they're right there in the mix. But the matchup, that's what counts. It's a good fight.
What about the main event? Dylan White and Joseph Parker. How do you think that's going to go?
Yeah, great main event. And yeah, look, I'm not going to make predictions other than the fact I really feel legitimately it's a 50-50 fight. I love the fact that two of the top guys are fighting each other. We never see that. You know, when a guy gets to be ranked number one like Dillian is, you know, you want to keep that. So you might take an easy fight and just maintain that number one position. But for him to fight Joseph Parker, who's the first guy to go the distance with AJ, it shows you that there's a lot of maturity in Dillian at this level, and this point in his career. He looked fantastic against Lucas Brown. The best I've ever seen his jab, his counter-punching, and his power. It just was outstanding. And physically, I mean, the guy we just see up here on the stage at this press conference, he looks spectacular. And Parker, same thing. Trains hard, he's focused, he's mature, and I think the key thing is both guys, regardless of age, are mature heavyweights in the fact that they're focused. They're not calling each other names. They have respect for not just each other but for the sport, and I really appreciate that as a fan.
You've been a ring announcer now for many years. When you started, did you envisage that you would be, you know, someone known worldwide?
No, you know, I started doing this for fun. You know, as I lived in the Philadelphia area, a lot of fights 60 minutes away in Atlantic City back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I just got my foot in the door as a fan thinking this will be fun. And it just took off. And it's just been great for me. And it's led to all kinds of opportunities. And I've really enjoyed it. But I never dreamed this would be a career.
If you were to pick one fight that you've been a ring announcer, which one would you say has been your biggest?
You know, I hate to pull things out of like the recent past, but I would say that probably the most spectacular event that we've all seen in many years and a great fight was 90,000 fans at Wembley when Vladimir Klitschko just about pulled it off, you know, with a knockout victory. First guy to knock AJ down. AJ comes back to win by knockout in the 11th round. Great night, great fight. That's probably like the biggest and most exciting event I've been associated with. I've had a lot of great moments like George Foreman at age 44, 45 years old, losing every round, comes back with a 10th round knockout against Michael Moorer. What a moment, you know, things like that. Let's see, Bernard Hopkins at the age of 50 and change become a world champion. Those are great moments, you know, things like that. The Holyfield Bowe fight where a guy came crashing into the ring from the sky. Crazy, right? Riddick Bowe and Andrew Golota at Madison Square Garden. TKO from, it stopped the fight because of low blows from Golota. A total riot breaks out, you know, and it's things like that. They're crazy, but there are a lot of great moments. For great fights, I'll take you back to 1989. Iran Barkley, the blue-collar champion, fights Roberto Duran, who's supposed to be like making his 100th comeback or something. Duran pulls off a split decision win in a night that had a blizzard, and the fans still turned out. Just been a lot of great fights through the years.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thanks a lot.